Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming along to our first ever book launch. There are going to be many more for you to enjoy, or not. Thank you so much to the Dalston Superstore for hosting this event. As you will have found out already, they have absolutely top-notch food and drink here, so we are in really good hands. We also would love to thank Red Bull, who are supporting the event. As you know, they give you wings. And without further ado, we will proceed to do 3 very short readings from the book, which we would like you to just listen to get a flavour of the cartoonish characteristics of our oeuvre.
First reading is from chapter 1. Welcome to London. Move on, girl. You might have been hot 30 pounds ago, but you are one overweight overeater, and he is so over you. Crystal chuckled as she remembered her remark, ignoring what a poor show it was to laugh at one's own jokes. She had walked into the Ministry of Sound on Kerwin's arm the night before. It had been a great entrance. She had stopped traffic. She had somehow managed, for once, to take full advantage of her height and her natural flamboyance. She had looked, or perhaps only felt, like an African goddess. The short white dress glittered, the lights caught on her discus earrings, and she did not fall over on her Eiffel Tower heels. For a precious, privileged moment, it had been all about her. Eyes followed her like predators looking for supper. Her retort had been the end of a girl's spat, over Kerwin no less. The satisfaction of finally slapping down that Amber Blewett, who when she was thin used to look like a short Elle Macpherson, was just too good. Amber thought that she could outshine Crystal Smith. As if. That Essex tart in last year's shoes, walking the path to plus size, had lost her man, and Crystal had won. Of course, Crystal had had to then apologise to Amber for her javelin remark. That was the way these things went. Crystal had to be Amber's friend. Amber got on all the best guest lists, somehow. Crystal had therefore long followed where Amber led. But it went without saying that the foundation of their friendship was less than sturdy. It wasn't all bad. Both women enjoyed genuine moments of shared fun and laughter, usually at someone else's expense. However, the convenience of having a friend to share shopping and clubbing cohabited with jealousy, resentment, and out-and-out rivalry. This led, via the spat over Kerwin, to the retort. The retort which could not be unsaid, but could perhaps be concealed under a thick layer of kiss and makeup.
From chapter 12, Eminence Grise. This scene takes place in an S&M club called Play, Pleasure, Pain, Lust and Yearning. Tonight, Hartmut had followed Caroline Napier-Jones into a private room at the Play. But they weren't alone. He wasn't ready to explore that path yet. No, Caroline had led 2 drooling slaves in there too, making them walk on all fours and having them yelp when she gave their leads a particularly strong tug. The male slave was wearing black leather Doc Martens, a green latex jockstrap and a leather mask. The female slave was in knee-length black leather boots, pink latex crotchless pants, and had a black leather bit in her mouth. The slaves were both bare-breasted. They were each kitted out with a harness to which their leads were attached. Hartmut himself was in tight leather pants, boots, and a black leather overcoat that was a cross between the Matrix and the SS. His peaked cap tipped the balance in favour of the latter. As he adjusted the cockwing, which kept him in a state of constant readiness, he savoured the idea of being merciless whilst at play. The only creature, in fact, that could dare to trifle with Hartmut Glick was the vision in the scarlet catsuit and matching thigh-length boots with 6-inch heels brandishing a 3-tailed whip as she pulled her slaves along. Caroline looked amazing, with zips in all the right places allowing access when she decided. The catsuit had been custom-made for her in Amsterdam. Not everything Dutch was done. Dramatic black eye makeup, scarlet lip gloss and extra volume, slightly unhinged-looking dark brown hair completed the look of the exemplary dominatrix that everyone aspired to be corrected by.
So the third and last reading is from chapter 17, Mamma Mia. As soon as he heard the word mother, Ben was 100% totally awake. You sent her up, Arthur. Oh no. Oh no, no, no! The time it took Claudia Barletano to clean her hands once more after having touched all those door handles and lift buttons was nowhere near enough time for Ben to get Rubens dressed and out of his flat. But at least it was time for him to get some trousers on. The thought of his mother being the third woman to be greeted at Ben's door by Ben in boxer shorts and a semi was just too shameful and too wrong for words. His mind was racing to come up with a cover story. Maybe the obvious one was best. Mamma, welcome to London. Come in, come in.
Figlio mio! Give your mamma a hug.
How was your journey? You must be exhausted, Mamma.
My journey was perfect. The beds on the plane are wonderful. I slept most of the way, and I am feeling fine. But I am desperate for a proper cup of coffee. Please tell me you can make a proper espresso here.
Knowing that his mother was serious about her coffee, Ben went straight over to his rather bare kitchen cupboards and produced the espresso macchinetta with a flourish. He then opened the fridge and got out the Lavazza Qualità Rossa with another flourish. After beaming with delight and relief, Claudia's critical eyes surveyed the space in front of her. Although Ben had told his mother that his flat was modest, Claudia was shocked at just how modest it really was. Her son in a concrete bunker with orange swirls on the inside.
Now, where can I hang up my coat, Ben? Shall I leave it in the bedroom? Is it through here?
Let me do it, Mamma. I have a little confession to make. I've joined a soccer team, and we had a team night out last night, and I couldn't get out of it, and it was, well, very British, let's say. Anyway, a friend of mine crashed here. He was so drunk he fell asleep in my bed, and I had to take the other room. When I got up this morning, he was still asleep. He's still asleep in there now. Ben smiled weakly, conscious of how feeble his excuse sounded. Rubens had been shaken wide awake only moments earlier. He giggled to himself as he listened to Ben's conversation with Claudia. Soccer team? What balls? However, he sympathised, knowing how difficult he still found it to even think of having the gay conversation with his own mother. Rubens felt uncharacteristically awkward at still being there. He thought he would leave immediately and leave Ben with his mamma. He looked round for his clothes and then hurriedly got dressed. Fortunately for them both, Claudia Barletano had had very little conscious experience of gay men. It is fair to suggest that otherwise, The sight of a handsome, muscular Brazilian man with perfectly styled short hair cropped to zero at the sides, dressed in a pair of Dolce & Gabbana jeans and a skin-tight vest with "sexy boy" written across the chest, walking out of his son's bedroom at 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning might possibly have rung an alarm bell. As it was, Claudia was immediately cheered by the sight of such a stylish young man, who clearly had an eye for the finer things in life. "Mrs. Paletano, I'm delighted to meet you. My name is Willems. I play for the same team as Ben." "Ben, you didn't tell me how young your mother was. And is that Chanel, Mr. Paletano? It's beautiful, and it suits you marvelously." Claudia Paletano visibly swelled by a couple of inches at the back-to-back compliments, coming from such a charming, beautiful, and clean-looking young gentleman.
Rubens, I am so happy to meet you, and please call me Claudia. I'm so happy to see Ben has a lovely friend like you here in this city.
Ben wanted Rubens out of the flat now, before his mother realised something was up. Claudia, on the other hand, seemed to be rather taken by the young Brazilian and gave him her warmest smile. "Rubens needs to go now, Mama, but we'll try and meet up during the week."
Ben, where are your manners? You cannot send a man out like that, straight from bed without a cup of coffee in the morning. Rubens, you must stay and have some good lavazza with us.
Although Rubens had had the best of intentions, Ben's mother did seem rather fabulous. And that coffee did smell good. What harm could one espresso do?
Well done, Monia.
Thank you.
Are you still filming, darling?
Yes, of course.
Wow.